Hello, future licensed professional teachers. Welcome to BLEPT Review 2025 on the teaching and assessment of the macro skills, a key component in the English major and general education exam. I am Teacher Elle, and I'll be guiding you through a 10-item multiple choice question and give in-depth explanation not just for the correct answer, but also for why the other choices don't apply. This will help sharpen both your content mastery and your test-taking strategy. So without further ado, let's begin. Number 1. Kelly saw an accident on her way to school. Since she was the only bystander there, she was interviewed by the reporter regarding the incident. What type of speech she probably used? A. Impromptu speaking, B. Memorized speaking, C. Manuscript speaking, and D. Extemporaneous speaking. You have 5 seconds to answer. So the correct answer is letter A. Impromptu speaking. Impromptu speaking, this means speaking without preparation or right on the spot. Since Kelly was interviewed suddenly, this fits perfectly. However, memorized speaking, this is when you recite a speech you have learned by heart. Kelly didn't prepare anything beforehand, so this doesn't apply. While manuscript speaking, this is reading from a written script. Kelly was just telling what she saw, not reading from a paper. And last is extemporaneous speaking. This involves some preparation and notes, but is still somewhat spontaneous. Kelly didn't have time to prepare, so this isn't the best choice. Overall, the correct answer again is letter A, impromptu speaking. So let's proceed to number 2. What is the role of schema in viewing skills? A. Schema helps viewers to organize and interpret new information based on their existing knowledge and experiences. B. Schema helps viewers memorize the information presented in the text. C. Schema helps viewers to ignore irrelevant information in the text. And D. Schema helps viewers to focus on the individual components of the text. You have 5 seconds to answer. So the correct answer is letter A. Schema helps viewers to organize and interpret new information based on their existing knowledge and experiences. This is correct because schema is like a mental framework that helps us understand new things by connecting them to what we already know. However, letter B, it is incorrect because schema is about understanding, not just memorizing. The letter C, while schema might help focus, its main role is organizing and interpreting, not ignoring, so it is still incorrect. However, D, schema looks at the bigger picture, not just individual parts, so we can say that it is also incorrect. So overall, the correct answer again is letter A. Schema helps viewers to organize and interpret new information based on their existing knowledge and experiences. So let's proceed to number 3. Which of the following statements does not relate to the macro skills? A. They follow a natural sequence of perception and production. B. They are primary skills in achieving good communication skills. C. They are skills that manifest in the form of language arts. And letter D. They monitor one's own oral production and use various strategic devices. You have 5 seconds to answer. The answer for number 3 is letter D. They monitor one's own oral production and use various strategic devices. Why? Because this is more about micro skills or specific strategies, not the broad macro skills, which are speaking, listening, writing, reading, and viewing. So again, the questions asked are which of the following statements does not relate to the macro skills. We can see that A, B, and C are all connected or related to the macro skills, which means that letter A is true. Macro skills involve receiving, like listening, and producing, like speaking. Letter B, it is also correct because macro skills are the main skills for communication. And letter C, it is also correct because macro skills again include reading, writing, speaking, listening, and viewing. Overall, the correct answer again is letter D. They monitor one's own oral production and use various strategic devices. Number 4. In this stage of writing, students review, modify, reorganize their work by rearranging, adding or deleting content, and by making the tone, style, and content appropriate for the intended audience. This goal of this phase of the writing process is to improve the draft. What do you think it is? A. Drafting, B. Rewriting, C. Revising, and D. Editing. You have 5 seconds to answer. The correct answer is letter C. Revising, because this is the stage where you improve your draft by changing content, organization, and the style. While drafting, this is when you first write down your ideas but you don't revise it. Rewriting, this is planning and brainstorming before writing. And editing, this focuses on fixing grammar, spelling, and punctuation errors after revising. Overall, the correct answer again is letter C, revising. Number 5. What is the heart of reading? Letter A, memorization, B, comprehension, C, word recognition, and D, grammar. You have 5 seconds to answer. So the correct answer for number 5 is letter B, comprehension, because comprehension is the main goal. It is all about understanding what you read or what you read. Memorizing words is helpful but not the main goal. Recognizing words is a skill, but comprehension is more important. And grammar helps, but understanding meanings come first. Overall, the correct answer is letter B, comprehension. Let's proceed to number 6. Why are SMART learning objectives essential in lesson planning for teaching macro skills? A. They provide vague goals that allow flexibility in teaching. B. They focus only on teacher-centered activities. C. They clearly define what learners should achieve, making it easier to assess and guide instruction effectively. And letter D. They emphasize memorization over skill development. You have 5 seconds to answer. The correct answer is letter C. They clearly define what learners should achieve, making it easier to assess and guide instruction effectively. Yes, this is exactly why SMART objectives are important. SMART objectives are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. They provide clear targets, aiding assessments and instruction. The letter A, SMART goals are very specific but not vague. So this is incorrect. However, letter B, it is also incorrect because SMART objectives can support learner-centered teaching. And letter C, this is also incorrect because SMART objectives focus on clear skill development. Overall, the correct answer again is letter C. They clearly define what learners should achieve, making it easier to assess and guide instruction effectively. Let's proceed to the next question. Number 7. Teacher Daisy teaches writing by applying what writers do in real life for a purpose and with a specific audience in mind. What approach does she use? A. Communicative writing, B. Free writing, C. Controlled writing, D. Guided writing. You have 5 seconds to answer. So the correct answer is letter A, communicative writing, because this approach focuses on writing for real communication, which fits the description. While free writing, this is writing without worrying about the correctness or audience, just letting ideas flow. Controlled writing, this focuses on practicing specific grammar or vocabulary, not real-life purpose. And guided writing, this involves teacher support and structure, but doesn't necessarily focus on real-life audience and purpose. Overall, the correct answer is letter A, communicative writing. 3 questions left. Number 8. What is the 5th macro skill that resonates with the times according to language researchers? A. Writing, B. Speaking, C. Viewing, and D. Listening. You have 5 seconds to answer. So the correct answer is letter C. Viewing, because this is the 5th macro skill added because of its importance for interpreting visual media today. However, the writing, speaking, and listening, as we all know, are the traditional macro skill. Overall, the correct answer again is letter C, viewing. Next question. The following shows receptive skills, except A. Katrina nods her head rhythmically to the beat of the song. B. Sophia records a vlog on her first attempt to bake. C. Mika smiled when she heard the main male character proposing to the female lead character. And letter D. Jana underlined several passages in the text. You have 5 seconds to answer. So the correct answer for number 9 is letter B. Sophia records a vlog on her first attempt to bake. Recording a vlog is creating or producing. So this is not a receptive skills. This is a productive skill as it involves creating content rather than receiving it. However, the A, C, and D, nods, smiles, and underlining passages are all receptive skills because they involve receiving and processing information. So, overall, the correct answer again is letter B. Sophia records a vlog on her first attempt to bake. And last question is, Sir Jeb relayed his knowledge about curriculum planning to his co-teachers during their seminar. Sir Jeb used what type of speech? A. Argumentative speech, B. Persuasive speech, C. Inspirational speech, and letter D. Informative speech. You have 5 seconds to answer. So the correct answer for the last question is letter D, informative speech, because this type of speech aims to educate the audience on a particular topic, which aligns with Sir Jeb sharing his knowledge. However, the argumentative speech, this aims to persuade the audience to accept a certain viewpoint. Persuasive speech, similar to argumentative, kinda, but often uses emotional appeals to convince the audience. It aims to influence opinions or actions. And the inspirational speech, this aims to motivate and uplift the audience. Overall, the correct answer again is letter D, informative speech. That is all for today. Good job, future LPTs. You just tackled 10 key questions covering the core of the teaching and assessment of the macro skills, from impromptu speaking to SMART objectives, from schema theory to the rise of viewing as a 5th macro skill. Please remember that the mastery of macro skills is foundational, not only for teaching but also for lifelong communication and literacy. Don't just memorize. Internalize and think about how you'll apply them in your own classroom soon. Keep reviewing, keep growing, and stay confident. This has been Teacher Elle with your BLEPT Review 2025. Good luck in your next review, and as always, teach from the heart. Thank you everyone. Goodbye.